Welcome to GreyPrimer.com. My name is Nick, I'm your host, and today we're going to be unboxing Citadel's Athelorn Avengers Wood Elf Blood Bowl team. When a new Blood Bowl team comes out, it's usually pretty exciting for me. And I seem to swing through different sort of feelings on it. I see it as the preview on Warhammer community, and I think, nah, this one isn't for me. That's what happened with... I'm going to look over my shoulder, because as you can see, these are the only miniature boxes that I hang on to. I hang on to board game boxes to keep components in, but for miniatures, once they're built, I pretty much have the box in recycling. So, Skaven, yeah, that was pretty cool. Dwarfs, no, I put off buying the Dwarf Giants team for a long time, because I just did not like the beards. The Champion's Death, pretty excited about that. Goblins, I like those so much. I bought 2. Nurgle's Rotters, I wasn't 100% sure on. They were okay, but I didn't think they were as rotten as they should have been. You know, I've seen a lot creepier minis from different brands, but I kind of gradually fell in love with them. Chaos, I didn't notice them coming out. Greenfield Grasshoggers, I was absolutely buzzing about when I saw those because they're just so cool. Dark Elves, yeah. Alpha Eagles, yeah, as well. I think the only one I've kind of passed up on as an individual would be the Troll. I did not like the Troll. I just thought, no, there are far better Trolls out there from different brands. I think even within sort of Citadel's back catalogue, there are much better Trolls that you could use for Blood Bowl. The Athelorn Avengers is a sort of the third elf type team, I guess, to come out with the Dark Elf team here, the Alpha Eagles, which is Elven Union, apparently. That's what they're called. These are Wood Elves. So we've got Elven Union, Dark Elf, and Wood Elf. When I saw these first coming out, I saw these actually previewed in a glass case at UK Games Expo in June. And I thought they looked okay. There was a lot of sort of, stretch fit, like Lycra clothing. Other brands of stretchy clothing are available. And there were a few male characters who were half naked. And I just I was like, meh. I'm not sure how well they'd stand up to a solid tackle from an orc. Let's get stuck into it. Let's have a look in the box. I'm looking forward to adding another team up here to my collection, and we'll see just how good they are close up. Back soon. Alright, so let's get into it. We've got the Athelorn Avengers here, the Wood Elf Blood Bowl team, and as always, some lovely cover art there from Games Workshop. Blood Bowl, a game of fantasy football. It's kind of cool that all these years later they still haven't changed the name of that. I don't know what the first edition was, but certainly the second edition, if we can just grab it here. There's the original box for the second edition. And yep, the game of fantasy football by Jervis Johnson. So that's kind of cool. They're still hanging on to that. So let's have a look. So, what are we seeing here? We're seeing a lot of spandex. We're not seeing a huge amount of armor. And I foresee a very full injury bin for this team. This is style over substance with Wood Elves. But I suppose if you're as fast as they are and as slippery as they are, you can probably get away from a lot of those big tackles. Kind of cool to see the new Hammer and Eagle. Is that what it's called? Hammer and Eagle? Logo from Warhammer. Yeah, it's on the back as well there. So this was I think the first Blood Bowl set that had the new logo emblazoning it. The previous one to this would have been the let me see, Halflings. Let's check. So there we go. Greenfield Grasshoggers, and on the back, yeah, the old branding. So yeah, the Athelorn Avengers were the first of the new branded teams. So this kind of worries me. I'm not sure what these blue sparks are on the box, but see how intricate this face mask is and the holes in this armor? While it's very cool looking, I mean, your enemies are just going to be able, your opponents are just going to be able to get their hands in there, you know, just grab you and pretty much, you know, haul this boy around the field by his face because of all the intricacy there and the gaps, and just not very practical. But again, maybe they're fast enough and slippery enough to get away from it. But that's that. I don't think there's much on the edges. Some more of that cover art. Some more of those groovy blue marks there. Get that to focus. Made in the UK. And then on the back, we've got just the wide shot there. All the contents. As you can see, there are 6 different sculpts with multiples of 2 on each. You get some balls there, tokens, transfers, water transfers, and then some sort of painting guide there as well. Just show these in a bit more detail. So 2 female throwers, 2 male catchers, 2 half-naked male war dancers. We've got 2 male linemen, another 2 male linemen, and 2 female linemen to round off the team. And then the little extras, we've got the team balls, 2 of each of those sculpts, and then 2 double-sided tokens, and this magnificent team turn token. I mean, that is just detail, and that is fantastic. I wonder how much is painted on, much is actually the sculpt, but we'll see. And then we've got our water transfers there as well, and then all of the things. So let's get in here and have a look. Okay, I always look, sometimes they put wee things onto the tabs here for just a little extra bit of art. Oh, not on this one, unfortunately. That's a shame. Oh, they have it here, though. Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, I love that. I don't know why they do that, but sometimes they put a little bit of extra art on the tabs here or somewhere in one of the flaps or something. So, let's get in. 32 more bases. We got our sprues. Instructions. That's it. Instructions. And there's our little water transfer decal sheet as well. That in a sec. Here we go. So a breakdown of the same 6 players. Use our tools. They're the best, apparently. What do I have of those tools? I have some of that glue, actually. I mostly use the Gorilla Paint On glue, so I don't have much time for that. That's super glue. Oh, that's their plastic glue. So Tamiya, extra thin and thin paint on is what I would use there. I just like to be able to use the brush. To be honest, I don't find these little nozzles to be of much use to me. They just get clogged. There's probably a way around that. But the fine detail cutters. I must check what brand mine is. Orange handled. We'll check that out after. And then one of these mold line removers. I actually got this top piece of the mold line remover. I got one of those included with Conquest, I think, when I was back when I was subscribing to that. And yeah, I use it fairly regularly. And then we have all of our instructions for, looks like we've got multiple head options, multiple hair options, more head combos and things. Looks like a very small contact point there for the foot. Even smaller here with this bit of grass. Geez, they don't have to make it tough. And then we have our ratings. Yep. Cool. And get that out of the way. This is the transfer sheet. Positionals on that are lineman, catcher, thrower, and war dancer. And then loads of, I guess, tattoos or something. Look very much like the Sylvaneth. And the Revenant sort of stuff there. Very good. And then repeated in white. Which I love that they do that. You know, that's a really nice touch, putting them on there in white as well. So 2 duplicate sprues here. So we'll just look at one of them. So head options, hands. That's a rock and roll glam metal hair. The lycra finish, I'm not sure. I'd love to see more armor. Yeah, less sort of clinging to the body and more sort of protecting the body. I think that'd be much better. So that wasn't really painted at all. That was all in the sculpt. Look at the detail in that boyo. That is fantastic. Check the back side. Jeez, there's even more detail in the back with all the different leaves and everything. That's all the branches and stuff at the bottom there. Almost like antlers. That's very cool. Then we have our coin. Yeah, pretty good. A few initial issues there. The contact points and the lack of armor. But we'll see what they look like built up. And I'll let you know how frustrating it is to get such a small contact point stuck onto a base. Cool. Back soon. Bye-bye. And we're back. So we have now got the fully built Athelorn Avengers Wood Elf Blood Bowl team. Was that a pleasurable building experience? Ooh, I don't think so. I think it was kind of scary the entire time I was doing it. I thought I was going to snip something off that I shouldn't. Actually, nothing happened. I was able to get through the entire process without breaking any part, but I'm not sure if I would have wanted to tackle this like a year and a half ago. I think I probably would have done some damage to these minis. These were, I don't think these were out a year and a half ago. No, they weren't. They were previewed at the UK Games Expo in June of this year. That's when I first saw them in their cabinet and saw them in all their yellow and green spandex glory. And I've kind of, I was interested in them, but they didn't blow me away. Recently, they've announced an orc team, and that blew me away. Or not an orc team, an ogre team. And I thought, oh, that's cool. Those guys look so cool, especially the Forge World ones that they've brought out now as well, or have previewed. But anyway, while they didn't blow me away, and while I was a little bit nervous clipping them off the sprues and building them because they were so fragile, putting them together was a lot of fun. Not really. Terrifying. Terrifying fun. The best kind. So, one thing I wanted to bring into view here that coincided with me spraying these boyos up was the purchase of this. So I bought one of these spray handles from Games Workshop, and it was interesting, the experience. Yeah, interesting, I think. I don't know how good it's going to be long term, but this is what it looks like after a couple of sprays. As you can see, it's got a pretty sturdy handle here, it just clips in to this section. Within a couple of minutes, I realized I needed a second handle at this end, because it was kind of tricky when you're holding like a spray can. You get your minis and you're trying to spin them around to get the other side, and it was kind of just all a bit awkward. But that being said, I like the innovation. I really like the idea behind it. I think that it was an interesting direction to go. I normally just tape mine to a box, or pieces of wood, and put a double-sided tape on them. And normally I find that does the job. What I have noticed though is that the spray job on the ones that were on the holder on this, I went a little heavy-handed on it. I think it was because it was the first time I was using it, and I've lost a little bit of the detail on the minis. It's not the end of the world, and I've used it again since on different minis, and it's been fine. But just that this first time out, I noticed that the detail was maybe a little lacking. So let me just find an example of that. Okay, so I'm able to identify them because they have this. Oh no! You see this? Fragile. Just a little fragile. There you go. You don't normally see this stuff happening live. Now that's not a break. It's just a failure on the glue there. But look at how little contact there is between that and that. Anyway, that was my fault. Let's put that down to my fault. But this shows you ones that have been sprayed using the handle. Because they have these little black spots here. Because as you can see from the handle, it uses elastic bands. And where the elastic band makes contact, obviously the spray doesn't get to. So it'll give you an idea of the level of... I can't believe that one broke, but here. So it's still pretty detailed. As with all modern Blood Bowl figures, there's a huge amount of dynamism in the pose. They're always really, in full action. You're sort of capturing, it's like a real snapshot of the mid-game, which is very neat. I used to dislike it when there was a ball visible with each character, because it kind of felt weird to have multiple balls out on the field. It was just something that always struck me as strange. But I've remedied this one by snapping the ball and hand off. So our friendly thrower here is going to, I'm afraid, be on the bench for the next few games. But, great detail in the hair. And all of the sort of details in the armor and stuff have come across. But yeah, I did lose a little bit on the face there. Maybe that's not the best example of an oversprayed one, but there's definitely I didn't feel that they were quite as clean a spray as I normally do. Again, we have the telltale black marks on the sides here of ones that have been in the holder. I mean, look at this sort of the pose here. It's just deadly. It's full on catching flies with that mouth open, but gulping mouthfuls of air to try and just, because he's in full sprint. Absolutely magic sculpting there. And we got through one without breaking a bit off, so small celebration. This one, I'm not sure what the pose is doing, but the details and stuff, the headdress there and everything, super cool. We have come a long way in our Blood Bowl elf miniatures. So, pretty cool. But again, that weird pose. The legs quite close together. This hand sticking out. I like the hair and stuff in this, although the hair's going one direction and the loincloth stuff is going the other. But, yeah, still cool. Let's see if we can... Just going to pause it there and see if I can find you an elf from back in the day. So let's compare pretty much like with like here. So I guess this could be classed as a blitzer type. You ready for this? Here we go. So they're significantly smaller than they are. Back in the late 80s, it was a much different type of Blood Bowl. These much smaller figures. Wow, barely gets up to his elbow there. That is a stark difference in scale. I mean, I always loved these blitzers. I always thought they were really cool. I love these little dots on their armor, these little lumpy metal spiky bits in their lycra. These very cool face masks on, like hockey masks, and the cool stand-up hairdos. So there you go. A little bit of nostalgia. And then we have a kicker with that awesome bandana, the cool pointed foot. And it just shows you that not all the 1980s Warhammer, early 1990s Warhammer figures were static looking. I mean, this has got a real bit of movement to it. This miniature actually came with a tiny piece of metal which ran from here on the foot down to the little bit of base here. And I think really the idea was to stop it from bending over and snapping in transit or in its packaging. But pretty good. Look at the detail on the grimace there as well. I mean, that's a solid sculpt. So, this is the next one. We're back to 2019 now. And a really cracking detail on the headdress there. And the ponytails. One of the many parts of these minis that I'm worried of snapping off. I thought I was immune to damaging them up until a few minutes ago. Then I did it live. So hopefully, where's that? I'm looking forward to see what the next one is with the football, and it's here. So I'm getting to it. I'm probably going to do it as well. Great pickup of detail there. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just feel that the spraying on this was much better. I didn't feel I lost any detailing. See around sort of this, the belt buckler, or whatever that is in elf terminology. And you can tell this was done on wood because it's grey the whole way around. So there aren't those breaks where the elastic would have been sitting. By contrast, here's one where there's a break for the elastic. Yeah, I think it's retained enough detail there for me. Just feels a little bit softer, but I mean, look at this model. I mean, look how cool that is. If ever there was like a wide receiver catcher character, this is it. This is someone in full sprint looking back to find out where the ball is. But so fragile. Look at these braids out the back. Like, how is that supposed to survive me building it? I have no idea. Let's survive the filmings. That's all I care about. Another sort of lineman looking one there. Oh, here we go. Football, please survive. But you can see, even here, the angle of the hand, there's a bit of over gluing there. As I struggle to get that in place. Yeah, it just felt kind of weird. Maybe I've done that the wrong way. I'll have to check the instructions again. Well, I'll have to check them for sticking that other boyo back on. Maybe it's just rotated a little too much or something. Doesn't look quite right there when it's blown up, but you know, it's on now. I'm not going to redo this one. But apart from that, lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely design. Next, cool hairdo, cool braid, lots of movement again. I mean, look at the details in these hands. Like, seriously, look at this detail. I just think that, you know, every time I see the next release from one of these brands like Games Workshop or Shield Wolf or something, I just can't get over how much detail they're actually getting into their minis. You know, you would have only believed that this would be possible with renders just a few short years ago. But I think these are fantastic. There's something so rock and roll about these characters. That'd be kind of a cool way to paint up an elf team. You know, sort of that sort of rock and roll star. Paint up, you know, with black lycra and like a flames or something coming up. Or a dragon or something painted on the back of the lycra. Because these are sort of lycra, they're supposed to be lycra bodysuits, aren't they, I guess? Yeah, there's sort of folds in the cloth and things there. So, yeah, they're not naked there in lycra bodysuits. So imagine that with like a dragon or a tiger or something awesome on the back. That'd be so cool. Do them all up like a metal band. Anyway, cool hair there. And we are at the end of the Athelorn Avengers. I think... yeah, hopefully you got a feel for the detail there. We got a little bit retro with our 1980s elf team alongside them. But really cool to see the comparison in size there. The next, and we got the bonus of looking at this colour, the painting stick. Would I recommend it? Yeah, I probably would. I think it's... generally, when I go out to grey spray stuff, I've got like a few dozen models, and I'm going out there with multiple boxes and all sorts of things. Anything that makes that simpler, I'm happy with. I was a little nervous with having them on the elastic bands. I thought they were just going to boing out of it, but they actually held in there pretty well. I found that the level of sort of grip you had there between the bands was strong enough to not give me anything to worry about. It is possible as well to spray in this direction too. So you can get them here, you can sort of awkwardly flip them around here. You can go across the top, flip it over this way and back across the top again. And then you can sort of invert it and spray through here. And again, spray through here. I didn't have any loss of miniatures. And at no point did it sort of feel like it was about to fall off or anything like that. No, they were well held there. It still did make me nervous, but I guess no more nervous than when they're hanging off the side of a cardboard box from double-sided tape, or with double-sided tape. So, yeah, I mean, it was €14.50 direct from the Warhammer shop in Dublin. And, yeah, I guess there's nothing negative I would sort of say about it. My overspraying, that was just me. I was just getting used to the new technique of holding it. So I overdid it on a couple of sweeps. But yeah, no great problem. The only thing is that I feel it could do with a handle at the other end for an easier sort of swap around. It was just a little bit awkward. But yeah, I'd recommend it. I'd probably buy another one as well. I might buy another one and connect the two of them together somehow. I'll get some little connector for in here and then just marry two of them together and have one sort of super stick, which will have a handle at each end. And I think that'll be very cool actually. But yeah, so that's it for the Athelorn Avengers. On the next episode, we're going to be unboxing Shield Wolf Miniatures, Sisters of Taliarium. I am probably pronouncing that all wrong, but that's what it looks like, and I think that these minis are going to be pretty spectacular. Great to see fully armored female warriors who actually look like they're ready to fight, not ready to go into some kind of photo shoot somewhere. They are armed to the teeth and armored from head to toe. Can't wait to have a look, and that's coming up in the next episode. As always, please like and subscribe and comment below, and you can also check out our merchandise range over on greyprimer.com, and I've included a link down below to the Wayland Games affiliate link. So click on that, go buy stuff at their great value, and I will get a small kickback. And it just wouldn't seem fair to completely go without wishing you all a very happy holiday, happy Christmas, happy Hanukkah, Yuletide greetings, seasons greetings, joyous Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate at this time of year. I hope you get to spend some time with your nearest and dearest, and I will catch you straight after the holidays. Take care now. See you soon. Bye-bye.